how sweet it is. I wasn't ready to be loved by you nerds. What is up? It's me, your buddy pal HeyArcher. Welcome back to HeyArcher Live here on Nerd Affiliated. Feels weird. We're rolling. You are here for your quasi-daily, somewhat daily nerdy talk show where we sit back and relax. I said we sit back and relax. And I guess it's up to you. I just can't do it. But for me, it's going to be water today. But for you, I hope that you have yourself just a little bit of... Yeah, I got to really, this is going to be a challenge. I need to come up with a whole new thing I say in the beginning, because it's not just your weekly Thursday night nerdy talk show, nor can I have bourbon every single day of the week when I do this with you guys. So we'll figure things out. Of course, if you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another, plug, yo, shit. We have some fun stuff to talk about today. We had Daredevil wrap up yesterday. We got a new Daredevil action figure to talk about. We had Last of Us on Sunday. We didn't talk about that. And a movie is coming back to theaters. The rights have been allegedly reclaimed for a movie that we all think we used to love, if you remember the movie at all. So we'll talk about all that stuff today. And of course, whatever it is you guys want to talk about. I'm excited for this one. But without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend. It is me. Yo soy el problema. It is me. Yeah, so we're now on 2 days in a row, which is great. It oddly enough felt like I was going to like a second job, kind of setting this up. But like I was excited to do it. Excited to talk to all of you guys, of course. And then you hear that one yelling. But it's fun to know like we have a game plan. I don't feel like I have to like rush through topics because I won't see you for a week. So it's pretty good. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this new chapter we're doing. But like I said, I think I need to come up with a different like theme song. I got to come up with a whole new different thing I yell out in the beginning of the episode. Because just, you get on that routine. Thursday night nerdy talk show. But that's not the case anymore. We're going, live more often. So yeah, let me say hi to everybody first in the chat. We have Ultra Carta in the house. Good to see you. Since I mentioned Edge, I should be receiving my WWE Elite 94 Edge in the mail this week, along with Elite 92 Charlotte Flair, aka Heel Flair, for Edge to disappear to the ground. Man, Charlotte's taking a lot of heat lately. People are dragging Charlotte through the mud. So you guys can probably educate me on why people hate her so much. T3 in the house. Good to see you. I didn't get a chance to promote this on Instagram or Facebook or anything. So whoever shows up, they show up today. That's why it's important, especially if you're listening to this on the replay, that you hit the bell notification so that way you know when we go live. Like I said, almost every day of the week, not the weekend. The goal, if you missed yesterday's episode, was to go live roughly 4 days a week. And then if I miss a weekday, I can always do the weekend. So that's the goal. We'll see if we end up doing that. We'll see if we make it. Rolando in the house. Good to see you. Getting the plugs out the way. Of course, I thought something was weird about the layout on this one. Here we go. We have Nerd Affiliated, of course, on Instagram, your one-stop shop for all things nerd affiliated as far as news, reviews, and memes, of course. You can also hit us up on the website where you'll find links to all that stuff, including the latest show that is out. And if you're into supporting the movement and getting yourself some merch, you can hit that store up on the website as well. And if you're into the Ghostbuster side of things, we have the Real Nerdbusters, where you can find links to not only our Ghostbuster content, but the first to ever sponsor us for anything, Tools and Talent Props. You can find a link there. Use code HeyArcher at checkout to save yourself 15%. So yeah, I've never had a sponsorship for anything before. So just to know that we're technically it's not a sponsorship. I'm an ambassador, so I'm counting it as the same. I've never had that before. Sorry, I'm just turning on some lights behind me. So it's just cool to finally have that and be able to say that, and that somebody actually likes us enough to want to do that, which is crazy. So yeah, there's that. Tony in the house, good to see you. You're not late. We only started at 6:30, so you're good. You're good. I'm thinking that that's the time slot. I mentioned it yesterday. Again, if you didn't catch yesterday's episode, the time slot will be roughly 6:30 to 7 is when we'll start. Thursday will remain 8:15-ish p.m. And that's why, again, it's important you have the bell hit so that way you're notified when we go live, whether you're watching it on Twitch, Facebook, etc. Thinking about going back to Instagram. That might be a thing. So we'll figure that out. I still have not tried TikTok yet. So if any of you guys have live streamed on TikTok, let me know if you even like that. Do you guys watch lives on TikTok? And do you guys watch lives on Instagram? Because I feel one of my, like, I guess a way to say it is a new age boomer, the next generation of boomer. I can't think of another way to say it, but in my okay boomer mindset as a, I guess, millennial or whatever, I don't understand Instagram lives. Because if you're on Instagram watching a live, you can't do anything else. Like, you're stuck with just Instagram. And the same with TikTok. So the reason I like YouTube is because if you have YouTube Premium, for example, you can close out the app and it's still playing in the background. I think even without Premium, you can minimize the screen. YouTube's playing and you can still do other things. But the fact that on Instagram Live and TikTok Live, you can only have that going is a no-fly for me. But people apparently like it. So do any of you like watching on that? Let me know, of course, down below. When you do your UEW Ultra Elite Wrestling Series, there'll be women's hardcore matches. So Charlotte Flair will get stuff. So this is what I know. Why don't we talk about it? You know what? Let's see if I can even find the. Well, first of all, let me go here. So what I know of the Charlotte Flair issues right now. She divorced from Andrade. Is that how you say his name? El Idolo. I never knew the guy. I really only discovered him when I found out he was dating Charlotte Flair, whatever years ago that was. So I never cared about the guy. I knew it was a big deal when he showed up in WWE for, maybe it was a Royal Rumble like 2 years ago. Remember, I only watch like the big events, right? So like this weekend, I'll catch some of WrestleMania. I follow wrestling as far as like it's part of my algorithm online, but I don't watch every Raw. I don't watch all the SmackDowns. So I watch like Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series sometimes, and of course Royal Rumble. Those are the ones I watch. So when he appeared, I knew that was a big deal. And then he was, I believe, rolling around in next NXT, as far as I understand. So I knew she was out at random times due to injury, but then allegedly they ended up getting a divorce. Ends up being her third divorce. What's crazy to me is how she's getting dragged on this one, when I feel like it's pretty obvious he must have had a kid while they were together. So I'm not sure why people are like so like in her face about it when she may not have been the reason why they got divorced. But that freaking let's see if I can find it. Hang on. I got to get my buttons working again where I can just switch things without having to click around a bunch of times. All right, let's see. Maybe it's on Instagram. Charlotte Flair promo. Because that was pretty. I feel like that really rocked the internet for a short while after that promo came out with Tiffany Stratton. Let's see. Is this a video? That is not a video. I'm trying to find an actual video of it in case you guys didn't see it, but I'm sure you did see it if you cared about it. No. So let's go to YouTube. Hopefully we don't get a flag for it. That would be great if we don't get a flag for it.
You ain't the queen.
All right, here we go. There we go. Let's see. So this was SmackDown on the 4th. And what I'm curious about is to see if they actually cut out that part. So they're going back and forth. Apparently there's actual real heat between the two of these wrestlers, which, as I've mentioned in the past, what's funny is, and what's awesome about current WWE is, it tends to blur the line between real and not real. Obviously, the outcomes are fake. Obviously, they are told what to do ahead of time. But there are wrestlers that actually do hate each other in real life. This is one of those cases, allegedly. So they're doing their little promo, starts to get a little heated, and then Tiffany hits her with this one.
Record, like what? 0-3? Woo! What?
Oh, so everybody was going nuts because they were like, everybody's saying that's off script. They were saying that's off script. But what I love is this dude right here. You guys can't see my mouse. Let me see if I can zoom in. How can I zoom in on YouTube? I don't know how to do that. I've never tried to zoom in on YouTube. God. So you guys can't see my mouse. So there's this girl in the pink, right? That's like center of the screen. If you look down, there's the guy with the glasses, just mouth open this whole time. And then watch his reaction when it's pretty good. But I do kind of feel bad. I feel bad on the one hand. It's a very big thing to happen in someone's life. But at the same time, if I was Charlotte Flair, especially in wrestling, there's nothing better than having heat. So if she could somehow forego her ego and embrace the heat she's getting, I think she can get pretty popular. But I don't think this is a scenario where she wants to ride that heat. At least to my amateur understanding of wrestling at the moment, as far as I know. All right, so you gave some more scenarios there. Tony said, I watched it live. I was so confused. That's what was going on. I hope Tiffany beats heel Flair at WrestleMania 41 and retains her title. Is Rhea Ripley not like in the mix anymore? What? All right, let's look. What I don't even know who's fighting at WrestleMania this year. I feel like WrestleMania is not as big this year as it was the last like two. If I go to the website, does it tell you? Let's see, WrestleMania 41 matches. So there's 2 nights. I believe there's right, here we go. This one's pulling from Reddit. This one might be night. Okay, this says night 1, night 2. Wait. Oh, this is old. That's old. All right, I'm gonna go to the website. The website had it, it just didn't have it listed out nicely. So WrestleMania. Oh, I know. Maybe on Yahoo. Did they break it down? Yeah, they broke it down. Okay, so let's go over to Yahoo. Okay, so night 1, the main event is a triple threat between Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk. Then the co-main is the World Heavyweight title of Gunther versus Jey Uso. Under that is the women's title, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Then you have the tag team titles. I don't know who the War Raiders are. Then you have the United States Championship, LA Knight versus Fatu. Oh, LA Knight has the title. That's right. I forgot about that. So yeah, I'm out of the mix. I didn't realize most of these people had the belt outside of Gunther. You know, in following UFC rules, I'm surprised that the championship fight is under the triple threat that doesn't have a belt involved. I understand that these guys are bigger than Gunther and Jey Uso, but to me that's weird that the title is under that. And then we have night 2. That main event is Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. Again, I'm still confused on the 2 titles there because I know one's world heavyweight, the other one's undisputed, but they're both in motion. So then you have the triple threat: Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. Okay, so just Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. Then you have the World Tag Team Championship. On the women's side, you have the Intercontinental Championship, 4-way title, Sin City Street Fight, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. Oh, there's Dominic. I was like, is there no Dominic Mysterio match? We need Dominic to get a belt. We need Dirty Dom to go on a championship run. It's been enough time. It's been enough time. Charlotte should not get any sympathy, and she deserves the hate. Charlotte should not get sympathy, and she deserves the hate she deserves, and I lost respect for her. Okay, so you map that out. I hope the real Master Chief, Roman Reigns or CM Punk, win. I hate Seth Rollins. If the Seth Rollins we have was in 2014-15, badass heel Rollins with badass theme song, then I would have wanted him to win. Got it. All right. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not really hyped about WrestleMania this year. It hasn't really spiked my interest, but you know, who knows? Maybe there's something cool happens along the way and my excitement for it increases. But for now, I'm like, it's all right. But all right, let's go. Let's talk about some Daredevil. Let's talk some Daredevil news. Let's actually talk a Daredevil review. Oh, interesting. Check this out. I got distracted. The Jersey Shore people are at Fenway Park right now. This was 23 minutes ago. Fun fact, I went to high school with Ronnie from Jersey Shore. We were classmates. Both got to high school, same class. We shared like 1 or 2 classes, and then I don't think we shared any more classes after freshman year. But yeah, Ronnie and I, same school. John Berthel and Tom Holland read lines together for Marvel auditions. He read for Sorry, he read with me for Punisher, and I read with him for Spider-Man. Oh, nice. That's cool. That's cool. How was that? Well, it was, it was weird. Like, I remember I saw him. I remember vividly just like the scene of him being in my art class freshman year. And I remember he was kind of an a-hole. He was very short, like had like Napoleon complex type vibes. A couple of the kids he hung out with were like that. And I remember I don't remember him like identifying as Italian because his last name's Ortiz, but he hung out with those kids because like he lived in that like area. So when I saw him on Jersey Shore, I was like, oh, I thought these were all like Italian kids. He might be half Italian or something, but he he's definitely on. He was when I saw him on Jersey Shore for the first time because somebody on the boat I worked on had it on TV, and I was like, oh, I know that guy. I was like, he's on all the gas right now. Like he's not that. He was not that jacked back in high school, and he was not. I don't think he was a lifter in high school either. So in college, he found those really good protein shakes, I guess, that you can inject into yourself. I don't know, but yeah, when I watched part of season one because that's all I ever saw, I was like, yeah, this tracks. Like the attitude, the angry drunk stuff, like I was like, this all lines up. It lines up. So yesterday we had the season finale. Yeah, yesterday we had the season finale of Daredevil Born Again. I labeled it season one, even though it kind of is a season four, or maybe even a five if you count Defenders as like Daredevil show. I won't talk spoilers, so this is going to be safe to watch, safe to listen to, because it just came out, and you guys know me, I don't like spoiling stuff. So, what I will say is, yeah, you only watched season one too, nice. What I will say is, if you have not watched Daredevil Born Again yet, and you did watch the Netflix show, you need to watch this show. It's great. It's great. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I talked to Anthony, the Rambling Nerd. He also gave this a 4 out of 5. There's two issues that I have with the show. Anthony shared one of them. I didn't tell him my other issue because I wanted to kind of talk about it here on the show. Issue number one I had with the show that he shared was Kingpin's involvement in the show. I felt was too much. Like it was cool at first, but Kingpin being this all powerful being that shadows over Daredevil, that was already the plot point of the first 3 seasons. So it being a plot point here, I was kind of like, I'm ready for something else. I may have even said this in previous reviews, but I was ready for something kind of different. And him rising to power, Murdoch trying to fight him using the law, it was pretty cookie cutter as far as like Daredevil goes to what we know Daredevil. But at the same time, I liked it. It was what I needed. It was some fun, super violent Marvel action that we could enjoy week after week and be excited for next week's episode and all that. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. My second issue, again, this is no spoilers. And I'm going to use an analogy, or I'm going to use an example. I also realized yesterday I used a lot of examples in what I was saying. But I'm going to use an example. This is not what happens in Daredevil. It's not even close. But I'm going to tell you why I'm using this example. My second issue with the show was, by the time the season ends, a very Eternals type event happens where something so major is happening in New York City that I don't know how other shows will exist without acknowledging it. Again, no spoilers, and I won't spoil it. But I just feel like it's so big. It's so big of a deal what's happening at the end of Daredevil's Born Again that any other show coming out that takes place in the realm of this show, anywhere like at the same time, and especially if it takes place after the show, I don't see how they do not acknowledge the events of this show. I don't know if Disney has mapped that out or talked about that or planned it. I don't know. In a way, I get the vibes of the show that Disney kind of let them do what they want to do. I don't think it's to an extent of like Iron Man, the first movie, when Marvel Studios was like, Favreau, do whatever you want. Like, we're going bankrupt anyway. Like, I don't think it was like that far. But I'm hoping all parties involved were like, hey, this is our plan for the last episode. This is our plan for season 2. Anything else you got going on, make sure either you check with them or you check with us. Whoever comes out first is kind of setting the tone here. That's how big of a deal I think what happened at the end of season 1 was. So we'll see. Season 2 is already filming, which is great. So we're going to get that next year. We have Ironheart coming out in the next couple months. I don't think we have any other live action shows. We have Thunderbolts, of course. We have Fantastic Four. Thunderbolts, I don't know where that will fit into this. They go into New York City in Thunderbolts. So, hopefully at some point there's some explanation to a relevance of time. Like Thunderbolts is either before or after this. And there needs to be a reference. So we'll see. I still enjoyed it. And I'm still okay with if they decide to make a Daredevil universe where like whatever happens in the show is strictly in this world, and whatever happens in the MCU like movies is its own thing, and there's no crossing of characters. Like I'm fine with it at this point. We already got our end game. So if they want to do that, that's cool, but they're going to have to make a decision, because it's, like I said, it's an Eternals type thing where it was really weird for all those years that Eternals happened. We got more movies after that, and nobody acknowledged the fact that a giant being came out of the earth and is frozen in stone in the middle of the ocean until Captain America this past year. That was kind of weird. So that was for the Shore. You liked Daredevil. What I want Spider-Man, I want Spider-Man and Kingpin so bad. Kingpin definitely should be sorry, all the voice breaks. Kingpin should be in the mix for Spider-Man. Much like Spider-Man, there is apparently some license issues happening. Kingpin is technically a Spider-Man character, and the Spider-Man rogues can only appear in movie form in Sony stuff. And because of that, they can't cross Kingpin into live action, allegedly. So if there is a crossover between the two, it would either have to be a Sony Disney collaboration in the movie so Kingpin can show up, or somehow Spider-Man shows up in Daredevil on TV. And I highly doubt that one happens. I don't see Tom Holland being like, I'm going to come back and do TV for you guys. He got too big. So we'll see. But either way, super enjoyable. 4 out of 5. Let me know what you guys think of the show, if you liked it. And if you haven't watched it, why haven't you watched it? Now, sticking with Daredevil, we got a fun announcement today. Finally, from Hasbro, we have a brand new Punisher from Daredevil Born Again. And I mean, this is Frank Castle all day. This is John Bernthal all day. Comes with a couple weapons: knife, axe, pistol, one set of extra hands. I wish this came with a yelling face, is my one true complaint here. The tactical gear is cool. The skull on the chest is pretty cool. But him not coming with any battle damage is, it is what it is. But man, I wish they had an alternate yelling face. Same for Daredevil, actually. Toy Games over here. Loving the DJ Pauly D Jersey Shore haircut. Get this guy some fried Zipoli. That's funny. But I think it looks good. I think it looks good. Now, I was talking to Aaron Waller earlier today. Is this my definitive Punisher? No, not at all. Do I like feel like I absolutely need this version of Punisher in my collection? No. I already have a Punisher in my collection. One thing remains true though. Every time I've skipped a Punisher release or a Daredevil release because I'm like, I don't think I really need it, I've regretted it every single time. Now, they kept putting them in multi-packs, which was annoying, but I've regretted it every time. So on this one, it's a single release MCU version. I'm cool with it. I could still probably do a head swap with this one and the one I have now if I needed to for any reason. So it's just great to get another Punisher buck at the end of the day. I'm pumped. Tony was saying, you got it. They have to recast the second Spider-Man for it. Yeah, I figured. Tom's contract won't always have to appear in the TV shows. Gonna need to get some guns from Gridiron. What's Gridiron? And Anastasios Unlimited or Valaverse to give John Berthal Punisher Marvel Legends figure upgrade guns. Yeah. Antanasios? I don't know that one. I don't know Gridiron either. I wasn't sure that was an I or an L. I sound like the worst reader of all time. Reading out loud on the show. But yeah, pre-orders go up as of April 17th, 1 p.m. Eastern. HasbroPulse.com. Did you guys pick up any of these, by the way? Any of the new Legends or classified figures? Are any of them still in stock? All still in stock. Wow. Interesting. Gridiron Studios is a place where you can get upgrade guns for both 1/12 and 1/18. Oh, interesting. Okay. No, that's me. I'm dyslexic as hell. LOL. I feel that way too sometimes. I feel that way sometimes too. You know what happens? I've said it before randomly. When I'm doing this show, my brain is like in 5 different places at the same time. I'm trying to read the comments, but I'm also, I have the audio coming to my headphones, so I'm like listening to myself talk and like, oh, does it sound too high, too low, etc. I'm constantly checking my monitor, like there's a little monitor on the screen to show like, are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? Like there's so many things I'm paying attention to. Sometimes it's hard for me to like zero in. So there's my little BS answer. But I will say though, when it comes to today's releases, see, I'm like, when it comes to today's releases, I am a bit shocked that they are not sold out. I wonder if it's related. You know what I'm going to say? You know what I'm going to say it's related to? Maybe. Potentially. Of all of them, though, it's the Dreadnought I would want the most. Monkey Wrench. I think Monkey Wrench here would be a really good background character for some figure photography. I think he's pretty cool looking. Or like, for a rogue with your Daredevil or Marvel Legends figures, like your Daredevil's fighting a gang, he fits in. So this will be a nice pickup on clearance if it gets to that. But we'll see. We shall see. All right, heading back to the page. This was funny. I only discovered this today. No idea it was the same person. the girl from Alien Romulus and the girl in Last of Us, same person. And the entire time I was watching episode 1, I was like, I know her from somewhere. The new classified Snake Eyes needs new swords and better guns. You're producing and hosting at the same time. Yeah. It's really distracting. Producing and hosting at the same time, very distracting. But I try my best. Tries my best. But yeah, let's talk about Last of Us. I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys about that. Just like with Daredevil, this will be no spoilers. So, yeah. It was great. It was great. They, so far, seem to be just like season 1. They seem to be following the game pretty closely. And they will do some, creative changes as time goes on. But overall, really good episode. The tension building in this episode, though, was like next level. Like my wife turned the lights on. Even I was kind of like, what was happening? Like it was getting pretty tense. We were all, I think, a little surprised when we learned that there is a season 3 that's already been greenlit, because there's only 2 games. We're on second season. So are they going to like split this season into like 2 parts of the game, or will season 3 be them going rogue and they're not following the game? I don't know. I very much want them to have, if this season is going to follow the whole game like the first one, I want this whole season to include everything that's supposed to be there. That's how I feel. And if they do want to kind of stray off and do their own thing for season 3, even though there's no game, I'm down for that too. I think what will be an awesome rollout is if season 3, like I said, it's announced, we get closer to season 3. Maybe we're like 6 months to a year out, and then surprise, they drop a game for season 3. I think that would be fun. But so far, the show's so good. Like I said, I'm going to refrain from saying any specifics because it just came out, so I'm not trying to spoil anything. But episode 1, tension's building. It's building already. They think they're safe, and they're not. And it did a good job at showing that. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. I haven't started The Last of Us yet. Should I? You mean season 1 or season 2? If you haven't seen season 1 at all, you definitely need to. That was like show of the year last year. When was it? 2 years ago, I think. I can't remember what we gave that award to that year. It may have been Last of Us. We used to do the nerd awards. I didn't really do that this past year, but I think we gave it show of the year. If not, it was a top 3 show, whatever year that was. I feel like that was 2023. So good. So if you haven't started Last of Us, any of them, you should totally watch it. But let me know if you plan on watching it or if you're going to skip it. Let me know down below. It's hard talking about these shows because I don't want to spoil anything. I want you to go and just enjoy. Just enjoy it. You played the games. Oh, okay. I'm telling you, even though you played the games and you know where things go, it is still very much enjoyable. Because I didn't play the games all the way through. I knew the results I used to watch gameplay of the games. So I knew where everything was going, and yet it was still very surprising to me. It was still a lot of fun. So I encourage it. All right. So this one was actually fun. This is one, I don't know if you guys paid attention to this. and this story is going to come courtesy of Legacy of Nerd, our friend Danny. So he posted that somebody's come out and admitted that this photo from the set of Supergirl of Jason Momoa playing Lobo is fake. It was actually created in AI. Now, you guys may not have noticed, maybe you have. I didn't share this photo when it got leaked. I didn't share the Robert Downey Jr. photo as well. And it turned out that was also AI. So, we're all really trying to ride the algorithm wave, and we're all sharing things. But at this point, any of these leaked photos, I can't ride with them because it's just going to be so easy to fake them now with AI. So just wait. I'm just going to wait for a trailer. When it comes to all these things, I'm waiting for trailers. I'm waiting for Vanity Fair or Entertainment Tonight or anybody to do like an actual, like, here's a screenshot. That's how I'm going to roll going forward. I was skeptical on the Robert Downey. This one I was also skeptical on, but I believed it. I shared it with my friends. I didn't share it like on my timeline. I don't think, did I? Just make sure. I don't want to be a jerk about it. And turns out I did. I don't think I did. No, all I shared was when he said he wrapped filming. But that was one where I was like, I don't feel the need. And I guess I was right. So be careful out there, kids. A lot of deep fake videos coming out now. And it's just so easy to do. It is literally so easy to do. But I thought that was interesting. That was an interesting one that came out today. The last story I wanted to cover real quick. I was pretty excited for this one. We finally have a release date for Dogma. Now, for those of you who don't know, Dogma was a Kevin Smith movie that came out back in the 2000s. And it got wrapped up in all of the Weinstein drama somehow, as far as like ownership of the movie and the rights to the movie and everything. So finally, it seems like things are back in the hands of Kevin Smith, and we're getting it on digital at some point, but it's going to be in theaters. And I'm pretty pumped for this one. I actually really enjoyed this movie back in the day. I don't like a lot of Kevin Smith movies. I don't like Clerks at all, which is like, sacrilegious to say. Love Mallrats. Love Mallrats. I enjoyed Chasing Amy. And I didn't think Jersey Girl was that bad. But yeah, Clerks was never my jam. Was never a big fan of Clerks. Oh, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was good too. But Dogma, good movie. Good movie. And I'm glad that we'll get a chance to watch it again. I might have it on DVD somewhere. And I think the DVD was selling for crazy money for a long time. Longest time. Tony said the Lobo one looked way fake for me. The Doom photo seemed more believable to me, just how it looked, but I'm happy it was fake. I didn't like the look. Yeah. You know what that Doom photo looked like? Let me. So this was the photo that we got. And tell me that this photo doesn't look like that the dad from that Netflix superhero show that got canceled. What was that one? Um Canceled first season. Jupiter, is it Jupiter's Legacy? Yeah, it is. Like, it reminded me of this guy. I think you guys can see both images. You can. Oh, look, there's Daniel's photo right there. When I saw the Doom photo, I was like, it looks like somebody just photoshopped this guy or one of the images of him. It was the same look, and I was like, Doom needs the mask first of all. He needs the hood, but I was like, this looks way too familiar, and I thought it was a Jupiter's Legacy. I thought it was that guy, and I just like photoshopped it. So, like I said, I'm not surprised it ended up being fake. I'm waiting for that. There's no way, man. There is no way Marvel's gonna let the actual leaked photo of Robert Downey Jr. As Doom come out. They would murder that person. They would find out who it was, and they would murder them. Yeah, this person like digitally enhanced it. It's the same guy. It's like totally the same guy. I don't remember if there was another character in here that looked more like that with the armor. It's been a long time since I saw it. It was actually a pretty bad show. I don't know if you guys remember watching it. I think Aaron Waller reviewed it on his channel back in the day. And it was like a show about nothing. There was just no oomph to the show. It was, and they were trying to, do this whole, there's something happened. They're trying to cover it up. They were trying to ride the boys fanfare, but it didn't line up. CGI looked terrible. The fights looked terrible. So I was not shocked when this one ate it. It looks, yeah, it does. It does. So yeah, don't be trusting those leaked photos, kids. Don't be doing it. Don't be doing it. Yeah, this thing looks terrible. Look at this. That's not good. It was such a bad show. The only thing I was hyped about was this is the guy, Lanter. He voices Anakin Skywalker in the Clone War cartoons. So I was excited for that. I was like, oh, cool. He's getting some live action work for now. Or finally. But no, I wasn't. The show wasn't it. It was not it. But cool. I think that's a wrap for today's episode. Like I said, it's interesting. I've never done like back to back and what would be back to back to back shows. So running through all those topics in a matter of 2 days was unexpected and new, and I kind of liked it. So tomorrow night we have HeyArcher live at its regular time, 8:15 p.m. And no, it did get canceled. You don't remember it got canceled? It got canceled, I think, before the first season was even out. I think it was one of those scenarios. But tomorrow is HeyArcher live, normal time, 8:15 p.m. The rambling nerd himself, Anthony, will be joining me. So that will be a good time. We'll be talking Daredevil, of course, and some other nerd news if anything's come out. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Let me actually pull up. Let me pull up Legacy of Nerd. Make sure you give him a follow if you're not following him already. Just to make sure I didn't miss any other news that may have come out, but I don't think so. Nothing that I want to talk about. Yeah, nothing there. And then let's check Toy Shiz. Make sure there's no other toy announcements that I missed. Oh, the American Psycho toy coming out is just, man, I was excited when Super 7 announced they were doing another American Psycho toy. I was really hoping for an ultimate, and once again, it's not an ultimate. Disappointed. Man. Yeah, nothing else I want to talk about. If you guys really want to see some in-depth conversations about some of this news that was announced, make sure you're following The Man Collects here on YouTube. He did a breakdown for a lot of things, a lot of this stuff. So definitely check that out. I did pick up something today, actually. I did a toy hunt. I haven't done that in a long time. I'll edit that for you guys later. It fell on the floor over there, so I'll just show it here. Picked up the digital was it digital collection or whatever. Picked up the Superman here. Found him at Walmart today. And I really debated it. I was gonna leave it behind. And then I was like, people are going to be mad at me if I leave this behind and be like, oh, you should have picked it up. So I picked it up and I was like, all right, if I get home and I don't want it, I'll just sell it to somebody who I know would want it in the community. Yeah, it's like a digital collection or something. But I was watching Toy Games yesterday. He did his review, and Toy Games, myself, and Man Collects, even though Toy Games buys all of them, have all been in agreement that Todd has not made a like definitive Superman figure. Like that was the one real that he was really like slacking on. We've had plenty of Superman figures come out, but not one that's like, man, that's really good, you know? So this one so far is the closest one I've seen. So Toy Games loved it. I'm excited to unbox it. I'll do a review for it, talk about it. I thought the definitive one would have been the Christopher Reeve one. I've not seen it in person, but every review I've seen of the Christopher Reeve Superman, I have not been impressed. So this one might be it. It looks like a better paint job than the Christopher Reeve one. I'm curious to see if the Christopher Reeve Superman head actually fits on this, and if it actually color matches. Skin tone wise. Sorry. I know the suit won't match, but skin tone wise, I wonder if it matches. But I'm excited to open this one. I have it over here. I know the cape is wired finally. He's been doing that. He's been leading the way on that. So shout out to Tom McFarlane on that. I'll never knock Todd on that one. I remember when he started testing the wire capes and material with the Dune figures. And I was like, oh, I hope this is it. I hope this is his field test, see if it works. And then we finally started getting those in the multiverse line. So better late than never. But we'll see if it's a good figure. I'll unbox it and talk to you guys about it. But yeah, there we go. Talk about the Primitive War movie, which is more interesting than Jurassic World Rebirth, which I still have no desire to watch, and you already know why. Primitive War movie. I don't know that one. Mm, 2025. Yeah, I never I didn't know anything about it. Oh, a dinosaur movie during Vietnam. Cool. Cool. I didn't play it on screen because I feel like I didn't know what the movie was. I was going to risk a copyright strike off a movie I didn't know about. So, all right, yeah, I'll watch this later on. Cool beans. All right, guys, there's a wrap on our second HeyArcher show of the week. Like I said, I'm going to work on a new intro. Probably not new outro, but new intro, new intro graphics. I really don't want to, but I got to figure out a new spiel to say. I got to figure out a new spiel. But yeah, HeyArcher Live tomorrow, 8:15 p.m. as we do every Thursday night here on Nerd Affiliated. But more HeyArcher Lives are coming out throughout the week. So we did one yesterday. We did one today. We'll probably do one on Friday. If we don't do it on Friday, then we'll do it on a weekend day, maybe in the morning. We'll see. But I'm excited to talk to you guys more times in the week, cover more topics in the week. I feel like today's episode, I was a bit rocky on it because I'm not used to it, but we'll get rolling for sure. I appreciate all of you guys showing up, especially those of you who show up on the replay. So like, comment, subscribe as always, support one another. And I'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. I'm out of here.
More specifically, vodka, whiskey, beer, tequila, whiskey, more beer.
Yeah, come on, push your button. Push the goddamn button.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.